जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna and thank you for joining. Today we are discussing verse number 3 of chapter number 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So in the previous verse, that is verse number 2, Krishna starts speaking for the first time in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And the Lord spoke that how have these impurities come upon you? He is talking to Arjuna. Because Arjuna has kept aside his bows and arrows and he said, I am not ready to fight. So then Krishna starts speaking that this is not befitting an Aryan or Aryan. So the conception of Aryan, according to Vedic civilization, Aryan is someone who knows the value of life, or is a civilized man. He knows that the goal of life is spiritual realization. And somebody who is non-Aryan, they don't know what is the aim of life, which is Vishnu. And they also don't know about the liberation from the cycle of birth and death, or from the cycle of material bondage. So their conception of life is led by material conception of life, or that eat, drink and be merry. And they are also captivated by the external features of the material world. So that is a non-Aryan. So then Krishna says that what is the result of acting as a non-Aryan? So Krishna gives 3 points in the second verse, that he is saying that your name will be you will get infamy. Right? You will get infamy, and you will also not progress to the higher planetary system, as well as there will be no spiritual progress for you. So this is the result of acting as a non-Aryan. So Krishna continues to condemn the actions of Arjuna's lamentation in this verse 2.3 also. So let's read the Sanskrit for this verse, and then we'll discuss in details the translation and the purport. So Sanskrit goes as Klaibyam asma gama partha naitatvaya upapadyate shudram rudaya durbalyam tvaktva uttishta parantapaha. So here taktva uttishta is 2 words. Tattva means giving up, uttishta means get up, and parantapa means O chastiser of the enemy. So this has been addressed to Arjuna. But these 2 words are actually broken up. Prabhupada breaks up for our understanding. Otherwise it is taktvotishta. So let's go into the understanding of this verse. First by Srila Prabhupada's translation. Prabhupada writes the translation as, O son of Pritha. Son of Pritha is son of Kunti. Mother Kunti's name is Pritha. So Arjuna was son of Pritha. So Krishna is saying, do not yield to this degrading importance. So the word which is used for importance is klaibyam. So this is a kind of verbal slap to Arjuna. Generally the Kshatriyas are very strong and they are very powerful. They are kind of personification of masculinity. And then basically, importance, the opposite of that is potency to produce. So they are fertile. So here Krishna is telling that you are behaving like a sterile person, impotent. So this is a direct insult to a Kshatriya. So there is another insult that Krishna is going to tell now. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise. So the word which is used, the second word of insult used for Arjuna is Shudram. Shudram is giving up. Basically is acting like somebody who is not qualified. So this is a great insult to actually Arjuna. By calling Arjuna or reminding Arjuna about importance, klaibyam, Krishna is also saying he is stirring up his old memories. So during the Agyatavas, it was actually very difficult to conceal Arjuna. because he was a great personality. He was very famous, very strong. So it was very difficult to hide Arjuna during the Agyatvas, which is the 13th year of exile. So therefore, in order to hide Arjuna, he had to take the role of a eunuch, and he became the dance teacher for the daughter of a king of Virata, who her name was Uttara. So for Pandavas in the Agyatvas, they had to act like a servant of other kings, and the other king was Virata, and it was extremely mortifying or humiliating for them. So this word Klaibya actually evoke those thoughts. So Arjuna, you acted like a eunuch, but do you also, or you actually also became the impotent, because this war happened after this particular incident of the 13th years of exile. So Krishna is reminding Arjuna about that incidence. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada has to explain us in the purport. So Prabhupada talks about Arjuna's relationship with Krishna. So this point is that Arjuna was addressed as son of Pritha, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father Vasudeva. Therefore Arjuna had a blood relationship with Krishna. So if we see over here in diagram, that is Arjuna's mother is Pritha or Kunti. So his son is Arjuna, and Pritha is actually sister of Vasudeva, and Krishna is the son of Vasudeva. So in that way, Krishna and Arjuna both are relatives, right? They are relatives. So how a Kshatriya must act, right? So if a son of a Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya in name only, right? So, and if the son of Brahmana acts impiously, he is the Brahmana in name only. So when you are born in certain family, and when you are trained or you go through rigorous training in that family, then you need to act like whatever varna or whatever ashrama you are in. You have to act accordingly, right? So here Brahmana's son, if he is trained as a Brahmana, then he has to act as a Brahmana. Similarly, a Kshatriya who is trained to be a warrior, then he must act like that. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy. So somebody who doesn't act like that, even after going through rigorous trainings, or even after coming in the lineage of Kshatriya. And here Arjuna is coming in the lineage of the Kshatriyas, the family of Kshatriyas. So he is not showing that the qualities of Kshatriya at this point of time. So such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of the fathers. Therefore Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son of Kshatriya. So therefore Krishna is reminding Arjuna by calling him as Partha. Partha means son of Pritha. So he is saying you are coming in a Kshatriya dynasty, a very powerful Kshatriya dynasty. So behave like a Kshatriya. So what is the expectation from Arjuna? So Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. And that was also discussed in the previous verse, that you'll get infamy by just quitting this war, because what will happen is the other party, they will not see that this is something act of or it's a kind of magnanimous act, but they will see that Arjuna is acting cowardly. So they will call Arjuna as a coward person. So therefore he'll become infamous. So therefore Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. So this is what is discussed here, and Krishna actually he rejects this magnanimous attitude, and he calls this as a weakness of heart. So that's why this term Shudram, so he's using this term Shudram and Hridaya Durbalyam. So Shudram means petty, and Hridaya means heart, and Durbalyam means weakness. So give up this petty weakness of heart and arise and fight. That's what Krishna is saying. That act like a Kshatriya. The Kshatriyas must perform their duties. So you act like a Kshatriya. And so that's why Krishna is rejecting his idea of being magnanimous. And Krishna is saying that this is not magnanimity. It is a weakness of heart. What is weakness of heart? Declining the war. So he is a Kshatriya. He must protect Dharma. And in order to protect Dharma, he has to fight. And he has to fight against those who are supporting adharma. So whoever it may be, So even if this person on the other side may be a relative, but you must protect dharma. Like for example, if there is a police inspector or a police officer and his brother is a thief, so that officer, if he catches his brother stealing, then that police officer's duty is to punish, catch hold of that thief and then give appropriate punishment, or take him to court or whatever that is needed to be done. But the point is that that police officer has a duty towards the society. He has taken a vow to protect the dharma. So by favoring his brother and allowing his brother to steal, then he is not performing his dharma. So this is exactly the situation of Arjuna. He needs to protect dharma. So let's see what Krishna is saying, or Prabhupada is saying in the last purport, part of the purport. He is saying that Arjuna's magnanimity is not approved by Lord Krishna. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the ground of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relative. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity mere weakness of heart. So Krishna's point of view, this is a weakness of heart. And actually Krishna is going to establish this point later in this second chapter. Such false magnanimity is not approved by any authority. So this is not authorized by any scriptures. According to scriptures, you have to perform your dharma. That is a topmost, that's a duty. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by a person like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna. And this is what actually Arjuna is going to do in the later verse. That he cannot decide whether she should fight or he should not fight. So Arjuna takes a very intelligent step. And that intelligent step is he surrenders unto Krishna. And then Krishna guides him. So we will see all those discussions in the later verses. So for now, we'll stop here and we'll continue in the future session. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.